There was definitely a section in the end in which I think we were probably 45 minutes to an hour as to why the people are such pricks in the modeling hobby.
What's up, Plastic Addicts? Did that get your attention? So, for new listeners, and those just getting reacquainted with the retooled SciFi Model Podcast, a quick reminder. Going off topic isn't a bug, it's a feature. Our conversations tend to wander, and we decided to lean into that. This time, though, we wandered so far off the rails that part of the discussion on building models for play versus display became its own episode. Along the way, we dug into ego, bullying, and gatekeeping. Things that absolutely exist in the hobby, but rarely get talked about. The problem is, they thrive in the dark. So in this episode, we shine a light on some of the experiences we've had, including issues that came up around the launch of our other show, The Modelverse. Now, fair warning, this isn't as lighthearted as we usually like to keep things, but don't worry, there's still laughs, because keeping a little levity is the only way to avoid falling into a never-ending pit of despair.
Can you bring that mic a little closer to your face?
How about now?
Jesus.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Like, seriously?
You need to turn the notifications off on your phone.
I never have them on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, apparently you do now.
Checking is below 100 because Erin had her massage today. Oh. I finally convinced her. She's always in pain because all she does is work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I finally convinced her to do a couple things, some self-care things.
Okay.
I'm like, go get your hair done. Stop doing it yourself. Get manicures and pedicures and get therapeutic massage. But last week we actually had to get her to pay more attention to ergonomics because she got her massage, then she was sore the next day. I'm like, what in your setup is causing this? Because you shouldn't be in pain the next day.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, okay. Yes and no. Because if they're working muscles that, you know what I mean, if they're finding muscles that that aren't normally worked or are constantly under a lot of stress. So like I'm really anxious. So my shoulders, like I carry my anxiety in my shoulders, like most people do. It's like it's financial stress.
They're like boulders.
I know they are. Every time I've ever gone for a massage, it's been like, how should I put it? I have heard
Do they have to get the reciprocating saw with the like balls on the end?
I have generally. I love that sound.
That might have been the wrong set.
No, that's what happens when you go to the happy ending one. No, but like, so every time I've ever gone in for a massage for my shoulders, people are generally the massage technician is like, "Oh my God, what do you do for a living?" Right? And it's just because my shoulders are, like you said, like boulders. I carry a lot of stress and worry in my shoulders.
And sir, do you have anxiety? That's my secret. I'm always anxious.
Why are you always anxious, Ken? I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, like here's the thing. Honestly, you know what? You kind of mask it well. For like, I didn't know until you finally were like, yeah, I have ongoing anxiety. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, it's horrible. All my life, constantly. Like, yeah, I do. I have a lot of anxiety, but it has also made me do a lot of the stupid things and fun things that I have done in my life, and it has prevented me from doing lots more. So now that I know I have it, I push myself to go out and do those things that, I mean, it's make me really anxious.
It's not the topic of the podcast, but it is important to get these things diagnosed and addressed so you can at least live the rest of your life somewhat happily.
Mental health in Canada is an important subject.
That's a bit of a joke.
Well, okay. There's a lot more mental health. Okay. The problem with mental health in Canada is there are supports out there. You just have to find out where to get them. Like, you literally have to I had to egg my doctor on. Okay, I don't have a doctor. I have a nurse practitioner because there's not enough doctors here in Ontario.
Yeah.
But I had to be like, listen, I have ADHD. I would like to get tested. So they run through a lot of the other things first before they give you recommendations. So they
Do you really have mental health issues, sir?
Well, considering I talked to the therapist for like 5 minutes and he's like, yep, you have GAD. I'm like, what's GAD? That's general anxiety disorder. And you have depression. I don't know if you have ADHD, but generally, most people with ADHD are...
It's a comorbidity.
Yeah. So like, and then I've had other therapists be like, yeah, they're not really connected, but you have GAD. And it's like, okay, I just want answers because it's more... Well, I know I don't think like normal people. Okay, I know I don't think like everybody else, for the most part. But at the same point in time, like, I don't want to take drugs for it. I would just like to know where my triggers are and maybe develop better coping mechanisms, because as you get older, like people with ADHD, their symptoms get worse, your old coping mechanisms become different. Like for me, it's because the kids are older, they've moved out, I'm no longer responsible for them, so I no longer have that comfort of having somebody else with me when I'm out in public or whatever, right? So
COVID might have affected it too. I read something somewhere, maybe I can find it and put it in the show notes. If this even makes it to the show, this might end up just being the extended version that goes on Patreon.
Yay.
But basically, something happens with COVID that whatever mechanism in your brain that allows you to mask and act, quote, normal, breaks.
Okay.
And, so you're like, oh, my symptoms suddenly got worse. Like, well, they didn't get worse. They were always there. You just don't have the ability to mask them anymore.
Well, and also, as you get older, you just stop caring about masking them. Like,
but what I told you, start being a dick. You'll get way better results than being a pushover.
Well, it's not me being a dick. It's more or less like I just no longer, I live in Ottawa. So I generally...
It's awful.
I don't give a damn what people think about me. You know what I mean? Like,
that is the most freeing thing that can happen to you.
It has been. I've always kind of been like that, but like living in a small town, you get, and then like you have family members who are, opinionated. I'm not going to name names, but like people become opinionated and they think that you should be doing certain things. Yet my immediate family, they're like all supportive of the craziness that I've had for the last couple of years. I was one of those people that was just mulling along, working a 9-to-5 that I hated. Was okay paying, but I was killing myself doing it and I really wasn't happy. Now I still have a 9-to-5 job, but I have it part-time and I'm able to do the things that I want to do a lot more. Things like this podcast.
I posted our first episode of SciFi Model Podcast together, the soft relaunch before Modelverse, the week before Modelverse. And then Modelverse came out. I'm very happy with it. I like the show. I think we have something special. But we had someone being a sandy little butthole about it.
Patent pending.
And sorry, I just need to find it here because it was back a ways. Oh, there's a comment. Bear with me.
That's fine.
Was that too far? No comments, no comments, no comments. Oh, here we go. Okay. I am blank in the U.S. with a trademark pending. I've been in operation for 5 years. Modelverse might be confusing to folks. Now, that was on July 25th.
Okay, so I do remember this comment. This comment was kind of silly to me because if you know anything about trademarking, it is a image or a phrase. So it's a logo or a phrase. Generally, you would trademark something like Tim Hortons would trademark their logo. A film might trademark the title. And it costs money. It's a process. It's like patenting something, right? Like you're basically laying claim on a phrase or an image or a logo. I'm sure there's other things that you can get trademarked, but trademark pending means that he's in the process. So technically, it means nothing. It is like the most obvious hollow threat.
It is a nothing
heard.
Comment.
Yeah, it's just somebody. And okay, so
I am going to say the name because the next comment means I have to with the next comment.
Okay, that's fine.
So, go on.
So here's the thing. My approach to it is all press is good press. So somebody somewhere reading his really kind of off the cuff comment about the show title that we're working on is pretty much guaranteed to get some curious people looking at his channel because he got a little bit upset because of the name of our show. Mm-hmm. For one thing, it's the name of his channel. And it's just like every other modeling channel out there. It's literally a guy at his desk with building models. If you're not into model building, there's really not much. There's nothing that makes it stand out. Whereas Modelverse is a podcast where two people are sitting down in a model shop talking about the subjects around model making and the hobby itself.
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with... It's not even close. I mean, there should be no confusion. Like, honestly, if he gets confused over the word verse, it's a serious problem because it's half of the name. And I mean, if you look at the name Modelverse and then you look at the name Sprueverse, the only common thing is, they're both about model making and they have the last word verse in them. So honestly, he's really got no point.
It is endlessly stupid, and you might be right about it being
it's a ploy,
being a way to get eyes on his
100%
on his product.
I mean, okay, so your channel has like what? How many subscribers?
4,400.
Right. His was around the same.
Nope.
Like, it was less.
His is 9,000.
Oh, it was more.
Here's the thing. And that's why this is a talking point, because this is absolutely a bigger channel bullying a smaller channel.
Yeah. I mean, he's not bullying the channel. He's bullying the show because he's not even talking about a channel.
But he's only coming into my comments, not Tim's. Yeah, he's only coming into Jason Spacedock comments on Threads. And Instagram. He's not going into Tim's comments or your comments.
Yeah, but I don't have anything on my channel yet.
Right, but you've accepted the collaboration.
Yeah, I did.
He doesn't go into hobby centers that has shared this content. He's come into mine.
Okay.
So when you're wondering why I'm irritated by it, because he's singling my socials out.
For complete BS.
Yeah, like here's the when we did I did a week of stories leading up to the release of Modelverse, and in one of the trailers I got this Sprueverse! Exclamation point! Already a channel! Exclamation point. Now here's the thing, I missed it because when the first comment came through, some people were like, well, maybe you should change the name, or, maybe this and that. I'm like, no, I'm just going to passive aggressively ignore it and post Modelverse content all over all my socials.
Yeah, because you're not doing anything wrong. For one thing, he's an American channel, and they're both on YouTube, but the only common denominators are your channels are both about model making. No offense to Mr. Sprueverse, but your content is better produced. It's a little bit more compact, focused. There's a story behind it, whereas his is building models. But like I said, it's probably just somebody like, and that's the thing. Like, I really don't understand the aggravation because you have the word verse. And the fact that they're both about hobbies. That's the common denominator. That's it. There's no confusion. Why would you confuse? And if anything, it's the internet. There's room
for everything.
Everything.
It is. Look, it's one of two things.
I'm sure there's model making porn out there. Because it's the internet.
I don't know, Mom. I know there's some OnlyFans models who do naked Lego.
Oh, really? Can you recommend a few?
Maybe.
Okay.
No, I can't because I don't know who those models are. I only know that they exist. I don't have their channels and information in my phone. No, I really don't. But I know that's
Click, send.
But I do know it's a thing.
That's pretty dope.
But the situation is this, is that he has chosen to single me out among the group. So it's one of two things. He's trying to use his bigger audience. Now, no one else has said anything except him. But he's a bigger channel. He's twice as big as I am.
Yeah.
Who's like, you can't do that. That is bullying. Or he's for some reason threatened by what we're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be those.
Like I said, it's a weird situation. Anyway, Tim caught both of them before I did.
Yeah, well, no, I liked Tim's response. You want to read Tim's response?
Yeah, Tim's response was, at Spruverse. This isn't a channel, it's the title of a segment. Because the Modelverse is a show.
Yeah.
It's not a channel. But even if it was a channel, it wouldn't matter.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, okay, here's the thing. When I ran Anvil of War with Adam, Anvil of War's logo was AOW. There's another channel out there called Art of War that has the same subject matter. It's 40K content. At no point in time did they make a stink. Because there's room for both of us. Yeah. Art of War fans and Anvil of War fans. We were a little bit more cheesy and had a lot of tactics videos. They had tactics videos too. They're a little bit more serious. I honestly think they both have a place. And for somebody to think that, to get completely and totally, I mean, even if this gentleman is genuinely butthurt over the last word verse, I'm sure I would be curious to see if he puts up a stink with other channels with the last name verse that are related to model making, because this guy seriously seems threatened by a small channel making a show with the name verse in it. Trademark pending. Oh, I think that's funny.
Listen, here's the thing. So we might as well get into it. Spruverse is run by Philip Siegel. Siegel?
Yeah.
Siegel. It looks like his first thing as an executive producer was the American Doctor Who.
Okay.
In '96, they tried to reboot it with a TV movie. I've never seen it, so I can't speak to it.
So could it be that he's applying film, like US film style logic to a YouTube channel?
It could be. I mean,
but if you're used to that industry, it's pretty cutthroat. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to understand the logic behind somebody being threatened by a small Canadian modeling channel creating a show.
Oh, I know, right?
And the reality is, I think it's silly. And like I said, if anything, even if he's just being a dick, it's going to be beneficial for him because somebody new is going to go check out his channel because we're talking about his channel.
Yeah.
So he should honestly be thanking us instead of being a dick.
So, Doctor Who 1996, G Savior TV movie. It looks like some sort of Gundam ripoff. Here we go. Now this makes sense.
What?
So he wasn't an executive producer on Sequest. Executive in charge of production, 5 episodes, 93 to 94.
Oh.
So he wasn't a producer. Andromeda, 2000-2005, production executive. Mutant X, production executive. Adventure Inc. Oof.
Does that grind your gears?
No, just they were awful 90s shows.
Yeah.
And early 2000 shows.
Well, okay, so maybe he still has that cutthroatness in him. Like I said, the industry is pretty cutthroat, and people do put up a stink over stupid things.
Anyway, the point is, it's stupid, and I don't like being singled out.
Oh, he's just being a bully.
By a bully with subpar quality content.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually really surprised because, like, somebody with those credentials, you'd think that it would be more than just a modeling channel of a guy sitting at a desk with bad audio. As a technical person,
Yep.
I value technical production.
This is important to say at this point, that you do production sound, you do post-production sound.
Yep.
You do live recordings for individuals and music things and whatnot. So
Yeah.
you are not speaking from
I'm speaking-
place of ignorance.
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience.
It's important to put it out there so it's not like, oh, you got bad audio. Well, no, I can... In a subjective sense, you can objectively say, yeah, that audio is bad. I was hoping there were going to be more laughs than that, but it didn't really happen.
Well, no, like it's worth talking about, and I think it should be left in because it's one of those things. Like, I'm sure this happens to other channels. I've personally never.
You said Art of War didn't harass you guys, but did anyone?
No. I don't even know if we got because I know of channels because GW can be very particular about some of the content that people produce because technically you're representing the company, right? And I know if you sign a non-disclosure agreement with Games Workshop, that can lead to things, right? Like they'll do cease and desist. I know Games Workshop is very protective over their products. So I imagine people have gotten cease and desists over that because that's how it happens, right? Like the worst thing that can happen is somebody sends you a cease and desist and then you have your day in court. So I'm not here to bash somebody. I just think that it should be... okay, but I'm not... Okay, I'm not here to bash somebody. I just think it should be pointed out that, that is bullying.
All other things aside, it's bullying.
Yeah, it is bullying, and it's using bullshit tactics.
I don't like bullies.
It's honestly, if you look into trademarking, if you look into anything like that, like he honestly doesn't stand any ground. I mean, it's ridiculous to be honest with you. I'm appalled at how modelers treat each other.
Oh my God!
I am appalled. Okay, hear me out here. Hear me out here. I will go to a tournament. And when I was working with Anvil of War, I went to lots of tournaments in Ottawa. I saw some totally fantastic art. Okay? At no point in time did I ever hear another player shit on somebody for another army that was painted an off color or some other color or because of the realism or whatever. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's a fantasy thing. But for some reason, fine scale modelers put so much ego into their stuff that they genuinely get butthurt when they see something that offends them. And they must say something about it. And they just, you know what I mean? Like, okay, if you don't like it, then screw off. This is my art.
That's some of the stuff we're going to be discussing next month on the Modelverse.
Oh, really?
With the accuracy.
Yes.
Because we do talk about gatekeepers. But I am 100% with you. What did Tim call them? Dilithium keepers?
Dilithium counters.
Dilithium counters.
Yes.
Because we focus on sci-fi on there as well.
But, okay.
You are 100%.
Like, what? What is that? What is that? Why can't you just sit back and enjoy a model for what it is? Yeah. I'm not going to sit down and shit on somebody's model because it's half painted.
It's your model. It's your art. There's a story about Matt Jeffries. He designed the original Enterprise. He was I guess he was art director then. I guess now they call it something else. But he did design everything. Him and his team. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't just him alone, but
no, he did it all by himself, and he slaved for hours.
Sometime, whether it was during Trek or later years, he was brought in to judge a model contest, and he awarded some kids not great model the winner, and the more experienced guys who were there were just once again. I may not have all the facts right, but this is kind of the feel is correct.
All right.
The more experienced modelers were just losing their marbles over it. It's like, guys, this is the next generation that's going to keep this whole thing going. Also, who cares? Why do you need external validation?
Why does okay, I need external validation. It's why I do film.
But you don't do film.
It's why I do sound in film.
But you know what I mean? Listen, but see, you say you do, but you really don't.
I mean, I do in a way. It feels good to see something I've worked hard on to, and be like, okay, I'll give you a prime example. I found a movie that I had the chance to work on. Mm-hmm. I worked very hard on it. I did all of the sound in the portions that were recorded in Ottawa. It was a cheesy horror movie. And you know what? It was fun. Fun to work on. Fun crew. The producers don't have a good reputation in Ottawa, but that's beside the point. The thing is, seeing that movie on Tubi, where I saw it, I was like, I worked on this film. Other people are going to see it. That feels good. Working on Envelope War, being on Envelope War, it felt good to get recognized. Am I still going to do the work even if I know nobody's going to watch it? Of course I am, because I like doing the work. But there is a small aspect of me that wants people to be like, hey, I know the guy that did that.
But here, wanting professional accolades,
alcohol.
Holy. Professional accolades. Being recognized for the quality of your work is far different than the race to the bottom of having strangers suck your dick online.
Oh my God.
And I'm not going to say anyone's name, Ayers.
You're going to have to do all the bleeps in this. I'm not getting sued.
But the point is that you're not out posting your stuff online. It's not just someone I alluded to. It's also like Double V here in the filmmaking community.
Yeah.
You're not posting stuff that's designed for people to come out and say, oh man, you're the best. You're not posting your Gundams every week so that your audience can be like, oh man, we love you. Gork, 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 gork. But that's the point.
Oh, God.
You don't need external validation. You like external validation.
Oh, hell yeah, I do. I like it when people I know see me doing the things that I like to do.
It's not the driving force behind what you do. That's the difference.
No, for me, it's generally, for stuff that I do on my own, it's just because I want to do it. And then for business stuff, it's because I want to get paid to do it. I think that's...
So that's different. And here's the thing. You build however you want to build.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter about that validation or lack of from strangers online.
But I do like it. I do. I like it a lot. Validate me.
What is far better is a few loyal fans who like you for you and what you do saying, we love this thing, versus a whole bunch of strangers who click once, yeah, that's awesome, and then you never see them again. There's no real value in that.
That's very true.
Whereas there are people out there who every few weeks post pics of their models from 10 years ago. It's like, here's my such and such Enterprise. Here's my such and such Klingon ship. Here's my such and such shuttle. And then they sit back while all the people are like, oh, you're so good. We love it. It's awesome. It is a desperate attempt for attention.
That's fair.
And people don't, and the worst part is people don't recognize it.
Yeah. I mean, I think social media has done that to us. You could say the same thing for thirst traps.
Yeah.
Right? Thirst traps. I'm a man. I like thirst traps. I love seeing a beautiful woman being pretty and sexy, right? Does that make me a bad person? No.
No, but by and large, those thirst traps are also marketing tools to get you to look at their
OnlyFans or whatever.
OnlyFans, Fansly,
you know what?
Whatever.
Why not? I'm a single man. Fuck it. You know? I'll fall down that rabbit hole.
But here's the thing, though. In those cases, those thirst traps you're describing aren't designed so strangers will tell them how pretty they are. They're designed to get you to buy their product.
Yes, but some of them are. They're and I call them thirst traps. They're not all thirst traps. They're just sometimes they're just pretty models, you know, and they have an aspiring modeling career or whatever, or they just like being pretty.
Yeah.
or they like fashion or whatever, they do still like that praise. The one thing I don't understand is, like, I will post a model of that I've done. I generally don't see a whole lot of negative comments on them. And it's not that I'm a fucking expert. It's not that I do an amazing job. I do a good job. I do my best, and I like the product. I'm generally mostly happy with the products that I post. And if somebody asks me how I do something, I give them a straight answer as to how I did it, because I'd like them to try it and see what they can come up with. Now, when I see some of the stuff and I hear some of the stories that you guys talk about on the model nights, because I don't understand where the ego comes from that drives somebody to shit on somebody who forgot to put a rivet or use the wrong color of paint because they wanted to be a little creative, or they didn't have the money to go out and buy the right color. They chose to make a creative decision based upon what they had. What that shows me is that even though those modelers are more skilled than the person who they think fucked up, and they might be trying to like do an ode to the original modeler or whatever, they might, want to be showing off their skills, or like maybe they're electrical engineer and they're like, oh, look at what I did with this Arduino thing. But for somebody like that to shit on somebody else for doing what they feel is subpar, maybe that person that has the subpar, I'm using quotations here, the subpar to that egotistical prick's opinion, maybe that's the best they can do, because they simply don't have the time to put into investing. Like, they don't have the time to do it. Maybe they've got kids, and this is what they do to keep from fucking putting a bullet in their head because of this wonderful world we live in.
Dude, it's 25. It's not even having kids. It's having 4 jobs and 8 roommates just to live.
Yeah. Okay, so I know I'm being extreme there, but like, if you, for example, submit a product into a competition, yes, you expect it to be judged.
Yeah.
That's why you're putting it there.
There's an expectation there.
Yeah. But if somebody ever told me that I'm using the wrong color of red for my Draconis Combine, I would be like, yeah, well, I don't care, because it's a fantasy product.
Yep.
I know it's red. And to me, those look good and are the best I could have done at the time.
So,
and doesn't mean I don't want to grow as a modeler. What they should be doing, and this is just my humble opinion, if they want to encourage people to try and do better, is maybe instead of being an egotistical prick, they should say, hey, I really like your model, but it could use some work. Do you mind if I make some suggestions? You can still show a little bit of the ego and pride that you put into your work. Maybe that person might ask you, okay, so you're a far better model than me, right? Do I not ask you questions about how you do things?
Yeah.
Right, because you don't shit on my work.
So
how do you shut somebody down really quick and make them not ask you questions and hate you for the rest of your life? And you genuinely could lose a potential fan.
One, I think you're misunderstanding ego is the biggest thing in this. Because it's not about helping people. It's about making sure everyone knows that you're the best.
That I realize.
Okay.
But even the most egotistical DOP I've ever met in my entire life, all right? I watched him shit on a whole bunch of people. But the second I said, okay, fine, you're better at it than I am, why don't you tell me how you do what you do? And as soon as I did that, he changed his mode. He said, because I didn't get shut down by it. I saw it as ego, because I hate ego. I work in film. I've worked in it for a long time, on and off, and ego does nothing but piss me off. Everybody has ego, but it's okay to be humble sometimes. So I made him humble by saying, okay, how did you produce that shot? I played into that ego a little bit and got him actually talking about something he's passionate about. I watched that ego go away a little bit, because he was suddenly talking about something he knows.
Because they're not expecting them to message back or fight back or call them out.
Yeah. I wasn't challenging him. I was
No.
genuinely curious because I like what he did.
But in that same vein, that's exactly what it is. These people come in because for whatever reason, and I don't want to do stuff like living in their parents' basement or neckbeard or whatever, but for whatever reason, they have too much of their ego wrapped up in their ability. Anything that isn't what they do is an affront to them. They don't want to help people. That's it. They don't want to help you get better. They just want everyone to be like, oh, well, you're the best. That's...
I'm so glad the audience can't see that, but it's hilarious.
But that's what it is.
Look,
and even if you challenge them to help you, to say, okay, well, how, or what, or why?
Yeah, how can I make my product better?
They're not going to present it in a way that is helpful. It will always be confrontational because I'm sometimes better than you.
Yeah, sometimes a little condescending. Yes,
I'm better than you, and everyone needs to know it.
Right. Look.
And that's a terrible way to live.
It is a terrible way to live. Look, I'm the first to admit, I'm a stubborn man. And there's a few times when if somebody's made suggestions to me while doing a setup or whatever, and this is a recent story, where I've closed-mindedly... What are you looking at me for?
Are you talking about us?
Yeah, us and other things. Because I go in with a certain mindset, and I'm all like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it, right? Because this is how I know how to do it. And if somebody makes a suggestion, sometimes I get derailed, right? It's a bit of ego, because I've been doing this for a long time. And it's also... I guess an affront, right? Mm-hmm. Because generally...
How dare you?
Because generally what happens when
I'll just do it myself.
Because generally when...
I'm teasing you.
Generally when I do that to people, I recognize it, right? I try to recognize it. And if I don't recognize it immediately, I recognize it after the fact. And I go, okay, you know what? I thought about it. You know, what were you trying to suggest? You know, what can I do to make this better? And that is ego. That is an example of my ego. We all have it in one way or another. It's the ability to be humble enough to say, okay, I'm sorry. What were you trying to suggest? I think that's found a lot more in wargaming, right? There are people that I love their painting, and you know what? I think they're amazing. Richard would be one of them. I will tell you, he's a far better painter than me. I will never hear him make condescending remarks against my work.
Yeah.
Which is great. And it's a very rare thing to see or hear in a miniature wargaming setting. Very rare. It's very common in modeling, and it's appalling.
It is. It is. I mean, we don't talk about it at length in Modelverse, but we touch on it.
As somebody who generally likes both hobbies, I think that is a trait that will ultimately do a stupid amount of damage to the hobby.
Yeah.
As a whole, as far as like fine scale modeling goes, doesn't matter whether it's cars, whether it's our military stuff, whether it's planes, you know.
Like I said, I don't know how it is in others. I know a couple.
What these people should be doing, if they're so freaking good, is tutorials on how to be that good. Play into that ego. But that's
it. And these are the people...
Show people how to do it.
These are the people who never do that.
Right. I challenge them to do that. Show me your stuff.
So I've been trying to find it. I've been listening to you, but I'm trying to find this. When I did K7, some guy's like, oh, it looks good, but those windows are way out of scale. I used to work with Greg Jean. I'm like, no, they're not. And because I'm like, I'm not doing this with you, my man. And he came back, he's like, well, whatever. You're the, quote, professional. I just worked on these models for such and such. Like, you worked for Greg Jean did you build models or did you sweep the floor? You're not giving me any information.
Yeah. And
you come in here like I'm the expert and I'm gonna throw my weight around. Now here's the thing. He did that thing. It's like, you're the quote professional, end quote. And I'm like, I build models and then I sell models. I am the definition of a professional. That is my profession.
Yeah. That is the definition of professional.
Like, don't come in here with this stuff. Like, here's the thing. The minute I shut you down, you could have just said nothing. Because that's free.
Yeah.
But you had to put effort in to post another comment and boast about, you work with Greg Jean, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Come at me with something constructive.
Yeah. Why are they out of scale? Why do you think they're out of scale? Yep.
And it's just, but like I said, it's an example of people want to come in out of nowhere. I don't know you. We've never had a relationship. I saw your picture online, so I need to tell everyone how much of an expert I am. And then be a dick when you shut me down.
Oh, I had that thing because somebody asked a question about the Zoom F8 N Pro and the Mix Pre. Now, I've used both. I have my opinions on both. I prefer the way the Mix Pre 10.2 works. I love the menu system. I don't care about the smaller screen because I have a tablet that I use with Wingman. I love the way it works. I love the way it sounds.
Yep.
Okay. Is it expensive? Oh my God, yes. But worth it. Coming from an audio world and an audio education, generally you're going to spend a little bit more money on something that has better components in it. And that's what you're buying. So if something costs more, it's because it's made with better components. And there's a reason why all the professionals that I have ever worked with on set run a Sound Devices mixer. Maybe it's not a Mix Pre 10.2 because that's an entry-level professional mixer, right? It is what it is. It's a
it's an
affordable option.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
it's just not a prosumer Zoom.
No, it's not a prosumer Zoom. It's better. It's kind of in the middle. It's in the middle. It's like it's an entry level into the Sound Devices universe per se. Like if you're going to buy a Mix Pre 10.2, then you're probably going to buy an 833 or whatever when you make more money and start being, get more professional at it. Or you're going to rent one or whatever. So I made some comments, right, about my opinion, and somebody's like, prove it. Why don't you rent both and tell yourself which one sounds better? Because in my experience, I've used both, and the second I used a Sound Devices mixer, I recognized the quality. That was my proof, because the proof is in testing it. So I said, okay,
which is the way to go, because ultimately your experiences will vary.
Right. If you want an answer, go find it yourself. This is what worked for me. And then somebody made the comment because the Mix Pre 10.2 only comes with one SD card slot, which is a downfall of it. And he made a snarky comment. I'm like, well, actually, you can double record on it and blah, 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 blah. I was corrected. Do you know what I did? I didn't come back with a snarky comment.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I did not know that. I stand corrected. But I have never had, quote unquote, said issue that you have run into ever in my experience.
Well, you told me about that earlier. That sounds like such a... That issue almost sounds like a catastrophic issue in the device if it happens anyway.
Right. But it could happen. It's a field mixer.
But what I'm saying is, like,
if you're having that problem, you need to change your mixer or change your SD cards.
That's what I mean. So it wouldn't matter anyway. If the device fails to such a degree, like let's say you have a device that records dual audio, not just copies the file later.
Yep.
Like, I need this backup. But if the device fails so completely that even if you have a double recording, it's all messed up, it doesn't matter anyway.
Well, okay, so the double recording is for because SD cards fail over time.
Yep.
Right? Here's the trick. Don't use old SD cards.
Yeah.
Take some of that kit fee you're being handed and invest in a new SD card or 10 new SD cards every year or so. because they're not a permanent device. They're not like old magnetic hard drives. They will not hold on to that information for years and years and years to come. They hold on to that information because there is a small charge left in that chip. To the best of my knowledge, that's how it works.
Yeah, they used to call it flash memory.
Yeah. Flash, like the SD cards, they don't hold memory for a long period of time. If you leave that thing for a year and expect it to work after a year, there's a good chance there'll be some corrupt stuff on it. And that corrupt stuff will be corrupt forever.
Yeah.
That's how SD cards work. So that's why like large storage devices, backup devices are still spinny hard drives.
Yeah.
Yes, they're slower, but that information is physically imprinted on the disk with the magnetic iron oxide that's on it. The electronic information that's held on the solid state drives is not permanent. Yes, it will last you for years and years and years, but generally most people have their computers plugged in all the time, so there's always a charge going to that device, so it'll keep that information. SD cards aren't like that, and they do degrade over time. If you are having a problem that you need to worry about a catastrophic failure, you need to change your SD cards. I've never had that problem because I always use new SD cards, and I generally keep with the same few makes that I know will work. And then I always set that SD card, the USB slot on my Mix Pre 10 to get the backup.
Yeah.
And if the SD card fails, the backup is corrupt. But the thing is, there are ways to prevent that problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my answer was, I simply stand corrected because I didn't know that that's how that worked. I assumed that, like I was told in the videos in the manual, that the backup is created while you're recording, like it does simultaneous recording. But it doesn't do that. So guess what? I humbly said, okay, I didn't know. I stand corrected. But I still hold true. Mix Pre is better than F8N Pro. Just because I've used them both. And in my humble opinion, I will go with the Sound Devices piece of equipment over a Zoom piece of equipment any day, because I know from using them in the field. And when you ask a question like that in the internet, you should expect answers. But if you're going to answer something like that, and you don't need to be confrontational or a dick about it, you just have to be like, all right, cool. Hey, guess what? I didn't know that, because you're always going to learn something from somebody who's better than you anyways, or somebody who's had other experiences. Well, why can't modeling be like that? Why can't it be like that, Jason? I think it should be. I think it
should be, but it's the same in every sphere, filmmaking or model making or wargaming. It's always the same thing.
I wouldn't say wargaming. I have never encountered that in wargaming.
Well, I will say this.
I've encountered people who are like, I'm going to kick your ass. But really, in the end, everybody knows that in wargaming, it's all about the dice.
Yeah.
You could lose horribly if you fail a few crucial rolls. It's about how you play the game and how those dice turn out.
Well, I'm going to say this, Kenny. I'm going to zoom out of this conversation and start wrapping this up because this went absolutely off the rails.
Do you want me to stop? Or do you want to record an extra?
Oh, no, we're doing an outro.
Well, let's do an extra.
Well, no, because I can do the outro.
We will do a fun extra, sir.
The outro is a whole separate thing.
Oh.
Remember?
But I can't keep that in, like me just going, we will do a whole extra, sir.
We're not necessarily doing an outro, but just kind of wind it down a little bit. We didn't talk about our subject for a lengthy period of time.
Oh, that's absolutely true. And then there was definitely a section in the end in which I think we were probably 45 minutes to an hour as to why the people are such pricks in the modeling hobby.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
All right, Jason Space Doc, let's wrap this up.
All right, buy the dice games. Let's wrap it up.
So that went off the rails, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Talking about ego and gatekeeping isn't as fun as talking about glue and paint, but shining a light on it makes the hobby stronger for everyone. Not every topic is going to be easy, but they're all part of the hobby we share. If you took something from this conversation, or just enjoyed hanging out with us while we unpack it, then mission accomplished. And hey, if you want to help keep these shows rolling and support the work we do, you can join the Jason Space Doc community on Patreon. Every bit of support helps us keep making content for plastic addicts everywhere. So until next time, keep building, keep learning, and remember, even when things go off the rails, there's always a way back to the bench. I do feel like eventually this might evolve into a video portion as well.
So I'm gonna switch too.
What's
that?
that?
See my ugly face on screen? Ugh.
No one's gonna care that you have an ugly face.